Continuity has proven so elusive for our hosts, but is the name of the game today. Just the one change to the pack, where US Eagle Hali Taofo packs down alongside co-captain Daisy Hibbert-Jones, and across the flank from Sadia Kabea, who Nathan Smith reckons is the world's best open side. The other tweak is at fullback, where Fran Goldthorpe returns to complete a scintillating back line. Chrissy Skirfield is growing into the 15s game by the minute, and Arlev Kelter plus Emily Scarrett is a Galacticos centre pairing. It's been 2 weeks since Ross Chisholm's High Flyers put 7 on Trailfinders, and he has stuck to that winning formula, from the Italian wrecking ball at loosehead right through to the Teflon-coated fullback. Our cameramen hold their breath, tasked with keeping a jinking Ellie Kildan in shot for the first time since she was named World Player of the Year. And well, a lot has been said about Quinn's recruitment this season, and it is testament to this club's increasing pulling power that 7 of this group are new arrivals for the 24-25 campaign. Lightning hooker Catherine Tredder spoke with such warmth in the week about those who braved the conditions here last Saturday, cheering until the bitter end as they were outmuscled by the reigning champions, and the wind howled and their homemade signs slowly turned to mulch. There's a palpable desire amongst this group to reciprocate that support and start turning hard work and eye-catching team sheets into actual results. If anything, today's opponents are a reminder of how swiftly that transformation can happen. Quins have already surpassed last season's haul points-wise, and they are a side reborn. They might have lost their opener and faltered again in round 2, but ever since, things have fallen into place in southwest London with a satisfying Alex Callender-esque thump, and they have been simply unstoppable. Quins are back. When you look at that squad, you get the definite sense that they are here to stay. After a Saturday so sodden, so torrid against Gloucester Hartpury that Nathan Smith dismissed the whole thing as a bit of a waste of an afternoon, this group are eager to right some wrongs and at last take a big, meaty name. They've seen off Sharks and Tigers, but athletes like this lot should be striking fear into the hearts of the league's titans and turning flashes of brilliance into 80-minute performances. We were here in a downpour last weekend, but the storms have cleared, the clouds have parted, perfect conditions for running rugby. And a special occasion too for Meg Davey at scrum half, who at just 24 becomes Lightning's all-time record appearance holder, 102 not out. She surpasses the 101 set by the recently retired talisman of Katie Trevathan. For the 6th time this season, Charlie Gaither gets the whistle, whilst Nikki O'Donnell and Simon Park patrol the touchline. Steve Elishan is our TMO. The metaphor being used in the Midlands is that of a volcano. Lightning believe that they are waiting to erupt, and they don't see why that can't be right here, right now. Against the Harlequins, who've been proving a force of nature in their own right and have gifted the ball deep into Loughborough territory.
Yeah, you're good there, thank you. Perfect.
Catherine Tredder, who spoke about eruptions and precipices in the weekend, is so adamant that they're not far off a Volta, a turning point in their campaign. All that talk of volcanoes. We've got an explosive 80 minutes ahead, whatever happens. Davey up and onto Kelter. Here's the co-captain Nelson, and just tapped back by Bulo Mataitong on the right wing, working industriously over to that 15-metre channel, regathers. Across the face. Nelson. Into Taufo'o, one of the many Eagles in action this afternoon. Ives Campion, Kelter on the pirouette, finding Scarrett. 3rd match in a row that those two centres have started alongside one another. They are settling into what could be a devastating midfield. it again, back in onto Goldthorpe. Here now, Hibbert Jones, who is picked up and dumped down unceremoniously by Beth Wilcock. Lots of lateral movement here, Katie Daly-McLean, but perhaps as we should expect from the side with the worst gain line puncture in the league, not a lot of forward movement.
No, lots of endeavour there, wasn't there? But they didn't really go anywhere. And then Helen Nelson there being forced to kick the ball. Yeah, I think for me, they're just watching Loughborough. That is their season, you know. They want to go through the hands, they want to play, but they're just not getting anywhere with it.
On the edge, please.
A flurry of phases. Practically everyone 1 through 15 getting a touch. They have made it over halfway. Sadia Kabea receiving that one. You could hear the stands before us just giving a little cheer. So thrilled to see the open side back to her bruising, barnstorming best. Just the 26 tackles last week against Gloucester Hartbury on her first start. Kildon with the pressure.
Emily, I've got a knock-on in the tackle.
Pass hits the floor and our referee has spotted a knock-on. So scrum coming the way of Loughborough, whose Goldthorpe is full of tricks and twizzles.
No clear lift. Advantage over.
Ives Campion, the Loughborough University student and former under-20s captain who became Red Rose number 216 in September.
No!
The first penalty goes the way of the hosts.
Look, Loughborough have got to be happy with that start, haven't they? They're keeping the ball, they're building a bit of possession, haven't got a lot of territory, so penalty is key. But I think what's going to be interesting is the depth of their first receivers. When you haven't got a massive pack, standing 10 metres off the line makes it really hard for them to get over the gain line because they haven't got the size. A team like Quins that are good defensive. You see here, Helen Nelson, it's a great little tip, and Sadia Kabea, a great leg drive, but just makes it harder for your forwards to really get in behind the penalty. I think we see here, hands on the floor first. She's got to go straight to the ball. She can't go over the ball and past it and put hands on the floor.
Eagle to eagle, treader to Talbot. Oh, and now look at the maul begin to rumble. We talk about the back line. This is all about the forwards. The piano shifters, and just look at them play. 15 metres inhaled. They're 10 out. Kelter on an incisive line, but appealing to our referee.
First knock on, second. Hands are on the ball as she's hit.
Be interested to see that again there. Kelter's come very, very hard to the line and just fumbled, hasn't she, under a bit of pressure. I think she was complaining there that there was a hand in it beforehand. If you watch it here, nice little snipe. Feels like she was probably tackled off the ball and probably has a fair shout there, if I'm honest. If you see that, that tackle is made before she's got hands on the ball, which just impact the catch.
Quinn Scrum,
Crouch,
which boasts 7 senior internationals, is an in and out jobbie. 95% success rate, but they don't keep it in there, they look to play. So Kaylee Powell waiting at the base of this one. There she is, boot to ball. Not a bad nudge.
Look, really, really smart players that you've got a scrum that holds tight. It's been operating pretty well at 95%, you know, so it's a good, solid base. It's really smart. It's in, it's out. Good exit. You're out. You're marching a team out of your 22. Just really good play. And I think that's what we've seen from Quins. You know, this lady, she's been in that 10 shirt and she's doing a pretty good job there.
We're going to talk a lot about Kaylee Powell at fly half today. 5 of her 6 senior appearances have come this season for Quins in that position. But the ball is Loughborough's to play with, so all eyes on the women in African Violet. Hibbert Jones delaying that run perfectly and puncturing the quartered line. Scarrett spots a little opportunity, balls a pinch for Masai Tonga, can't quite gather.
Oh, that was guaranteed, wasn't it? She was in. What a perfectly weighted kick from Emily Scarrett there. I was like, oh, hands are on. They've got the 2v1 here. Good quick ball by Megan Davey there. Move well. Scarrett's seen the outside of her right foot and it sits. Just needed to hold her feet there, Maya Tonga, didn't she? Just a fraction longer. Give herself the opportunity for the ball to sit and let her run onto that. Oof, close there, wasn't it?
I think that'll bruise what you just did to my arm. So excited next to me. Jade Kunkel, the league's top carrier, adds another to her meaty haul. And here is Abby Fleming, 2 Celts in quick succession.
Carried back! Wait.
And another look at the exit kicks of Kaylee Powell. This one ends over end and onto her opposite number. Matai Tonga with an option, looking to make amends for that fumbled pass, and does so by beating a pair of Harlequins. Was that played off the floor by Alex Callender? Referee doesn't reckon so. So Taufo'o back into a Harlequin reception committee, which comes a cropper.
Offside, but Quins are definitely going after Loughborough's breakdown, aren't they? Firing lots of bodies in, not letting them settle, not allowing that nice platform that Megan Davey will want as a scrum half to move that ball from.
Let's go.
Second in the league for turnovers, Harlequins. They are a team of limpets. And you look at that back row, that much-feeted back row. Wide Callender Kunkel.
But this year, it's great feet, isn't it? Like you say, I think she probably wanted to make amends for that missed try scoring opportunity. But again, we're just seeing the carries. We're seeing Quins get over the top, not letting anything settle, not letting Loughborough have time. It's good defensive play by Quins.
Born in Suva, Matai Tonga in Fiji, learning to play touch first of all, and you can see that in the way she scampers, the way her first move is always to evade contact. And yet, counterintuitively, by all accounts, she's the hardest hitter in the Eagles squad. Yeah, look, I've played alongside her. She's one of those girls that has the ability, like you say, to beat people for fun. But if you want somebody to put a shot in, she's also your girl. This shot from Hibbert Jones, straight in at the back, plucks it up, heads off, here comes Cabella! Pulled down just short. Sadia Cabella separated by a couple of blades of Midlands grass from an opening score. They will come again. Hibbert Jones with Cabella in support, but still, there it is, up goes the hand. What a start from Loughborough Lightning. They have had all the ball, all the pressure, all the appetite, and now 5 glowing points to show for it.
Yeah, look, it was all in the kind of run of play, wasn't it? Opening 8 minutes, it's been all Loughborough. Started off a little bit feeling it out, but here, good dominant set piece to get up in the air. And whereas Quins are starting to think about that more, Hibbert Jones breaks, great line for Cabella, and I think she is a millimetre short there. But then it's all about the recycling, you know, it's good body height, it's chest down, it's making sure your mates are in behind you. And look, Lightning have got one of the best conversion rates in the league, 57%. So over half of their entries are resulting in points, especially from a team that has a very low visit comparatively over the other teams in the league. So it's what we would expect for them. It's going to be huge in this game.
She doesn't miss many, Emily Scarrett, but that one, well, given how close things were last time when these two sides met, just 3 points the difference, you wonder if the matter of the width of the post could prove decisive.
She'll be annoyed by that, you know. She takes pride in her goal kick, and hopefully that's the only one we see her miss today.
Matai Tonga with the feet of a ballerina and the shoulder of a wrestler. Not that 5-metre channel. Shortens the Quins' defensive line, but now they reset.
Retreat first.
And they'll find themselves on the retreat.
Thank you.
Because Helen Nelson, who's got such a cannon of a boot, picks out one of the danger women, Ellie Kildunn, who has judged that to perfection. I wondered if she might have put a little bit too much on it.
From this side of the pitch, it did, didn't it? Because we're on the opposite side. Looked like it might drift out, but, you know, World Player of the Year, she knows it by millimetres. And good kick by Helen Nelson, you know, ideally you want that in the 15, allowing Ellie Kildunn both sides of the pitch, and I'm sure Ellie would have wanted a little bit more distance on that, but good an opportunity for Harlequins to enter Loughborough's half.
Ives Campion, the dummy run of that. But things just a bit overcomplicated at the line out there, not straight.
Captain.
So Harlequins with the set piece to flex, and it will be Jay Kunkel who makes the call.
Yeah, it's the other one on in the 22 looked a little bit close, didn't it? But as soon as the team goes up, forces a referee obviously to make a decision now, and Harlequins, who have a good set piece, will be looking to launch something from here.
Well, there is, this isn't an overstatement, a genuinely world-class clump of players waiting in the midfield for Harlequins. Langi Tuima, Claudia Pena, Jade Kunkel, Nicole Wythe, Ellie Kildun. How about those options? But they've done brilliantly there at the breakdown, Loughborough, to just take all of the impetus out of the attack. Pena and Kildun playing the little 1-2, and then thundering into Matai Tonga was Powell. Fleming with a little tip on pass, finding Powell. Here now Tuima in at first receiver, as she appears so often. Pena.
Just keep that mark, Emily.
She's slight, is Claudia Pena, the Spanish sevens maestro, but she makes her weight felt. Back we come anyway for the penalty.
Number 8 not rolling away.
Good opportunity, isn't it, for Harlequins to get into Loughborough's 22. Very, very good kick by Langi Tuima there.
Use the line.
Dicing with death into that corner.
It's only a game of rugby. Dicing with death.
That goes the other side of that flag.
God, Ross Chisholm does have high standards. Connie Powell, 5 tries and counting for the former Gloucester Hartbury hooker. The Red Rose finds Alex Callender, and now Harlequins can get to work, and look at them rumble. Heading in one direction and one direction only, crashing down. That's the score, and Harlequins are running so hot right now.
That was almost training ground, wasn't it, with absolute ease there. I don't know if Loughborough were expecting something different, because they had people like Laura Keats standing out on that sideline. Moments like that, when that hits the ground, you want your big girls hitting that, you know, good drill, good execution, 1, 2, 3. Cabella, Keats on either side, and almost by the time they join it, it's too late. Connie Powell has an armchair at the back of that Harlequins maul.
Well, speaking to Connie in the week, and Steve Halsey, their forwards coach, maul tries have been a massive emphasis this year for Harlequins, and not only on Tuesdays do they rep them at match intensity, but they've got Jack Walker, England hooker and hooker for the Harlequins men's side, and Adam Jones, the men's scrums coach, down and making sure that they are doing everything perfectly.
And do you know what it is, Claire? It's so interesting, because if you look at the way the women's game going, there's definitely more of that now. It's one of the stats that clubs get, is that metres made by maul. But when it's done so well, it is so hard to stop. It's almost like if you can get into 22 and then you can form as well as quickly as Quinn's done, it is so hard for teams to stop that legally without giving consecutive penalties away.
Yeah, that's fine. Left or right?
Well, it's tied things up. A muscular Lightning score. Echo down the other end with an equally brutal one from Harlequins. 5 apiece with 15 played at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens.
Knock on in the air here.
Awesome, boss. Fucking awesome. Nelly,
Just apologies for any fruity language you might have caught over Charlie Gader's microphone.
I need you to go square.
Square.
Yes, please.
There's a lot of previous to this fixture. Just to remind you what happened in round 4, it was all Loughborough's. The ball, the territory, every possible metric going in their direction until Harlequins broke the glass case marked Ellie Kildun, and she pulled a worldie out of the bag, went 70 metres, snatched the victory, and left Nathan Smith saying verbatim, "I cannot comprehend how we lost that." It started Quins on this winning run, and Loughborough really feel as though they have a point to prove this afternoon. And here is Kildun on an arcing run. Around the corner she goes, looking to fix both Scurfield and Scarrett. Finds Wilcock. A brace and a player of the match performance as Harlequins beat Saracens just a couple of weeks ago. Kunkel. Snagged by Scotland's Anne Young. Cheap delay on the pass there by Fleming. The lock with the hands of a fly half in that instance, and barrelling onward Lizzie Hanlon. But how about the steal? It's vintage Cabella. We'll never tire of it. She is a one-woman wrecking ball.
No more.
Matai Tonga with the ensuing possession upended, and here goes Ives Campion.
Tackle! Go back, go back. Thank you. Okay, retreat first. No, one.
Touch not found. Powell on to Kildun. Although we're all still thinking about the Colbert turnover. Bouncing ball. Finds Goldsthorpe with the ball under one arm. Just signed an extension with the North Queensland Cowboys. She'll be going back to Rugby League very shortly, but what dents can she make in PWR Titans before she does? The line speed from Tuima, just stymieing that one. Keats over the top of that though, and clamping down like a limpet was Tarani. Calendar.
Both of you off and beyond.
Also
one player
infringing.
for Jackal, please.
It's good. It was a really nice bit of build-up, wasn't it, from
Let's go.
Quins there? But what about that turnover from Cabella? The speed was absolutely unbelievable to get in, get over, get that steal back.
Outside.
And it definitely relieved a little bit of pressure there from Lightning, because
On the edge.
Quins were finding the
Edge of the line
edges
is
of their
yours,
defence
please.
all too easily. Hoping we're going to get to see it now here. Great carry. Look at that. Speed, ball. She gets one opportunity and she is so good at that, you know. Against Al Calendar, that we know is also very good at that.
In.
That is like top
Right,
end
time up.
7 work.
I can be very clear once. They're on the edge of the line. She's playing the receiver. Numbers have matched. Let's go. Time on.
And it's not just the steals, the tackles, the work rate, it's the presence that Colbert has. You can see how she's lifted Loughborough, who have come out the traps with something to prove today. And look at them go. Harlequins small up one end, Loughborough's down the other, making meters. And look at how many white jerseys they've ensnared. And look, Kelter is through! Lightning buffeting and barrelling on the front door of Harlequins, where they'd left the cap flap open round the side, and Alef Kelter was away and clear. Lightning hit the front.
I've got a lot of time for that. I like that a lot. Look, it comes back to that maul, doesn't it? Again, not sure I can beat cap flap. It comes back from that maul. It's outside 22. It's well formed. Lots of Quinn's body. Again, not hitting it, so they're getting momentum. They're getting behind. And as soon as you get momentum, it makes it harder, because players have to come in. They have to make a decision. And this girl, you know, she is so good. We talk about other players, but her footwork, her strength, you know, you shouldn't be going through seams there. Quins will be kicking themselves. Connie Powell gets beaten, but again, that's because she's watching the maul. She's trying to make good decisions. Does she get involved? Does she not? Kaylee Powell will be no doubt screaming for her to hold that channel. Great finish by Alva Kelter.
Wide again from Scarrett as we hit the quarter mark of this one. That's third try in 4 games for Alev Kelter. We know what she did for Saracens in 2022 when she joined in January and pretty much steered them to a third Premier 15s title, as the league was known then. She makes a difference. Someone who will be rather pleased to have secured the world-class signature of Alev Kelter, who has the ball now, is Charlie Beckett, assistant coach at Loughborough Lightning, and I believe that Jenny Drummond is with him now.
I am indeed, Claire. I'm alongside Charlie. Charlie, what do you make of the first 20 minutes or so? 2 tries.
Yeah, it's probably been our best start to a game all season. I think we're getting great pay out of our maul so far, and then we've had the majority of the ball, which has been testament to the way MJ, Meg Davey and Nelly have controlled the game and kept the ball alive. But we know when they get the ball, they're dangerous. So really good start. We've just got to keep hold of the ball and keep playing the right areas of the pitch.
Yes, indeed. And they're driving maul, Quinn's driving maul. That's been a real threat of theirs. How do you defend that?
Yeah, it was disappointing, obviously, to get mauled over first shot there. I think we have our plan, which I'm not going to tell everyone on air because
Why?
Steve might be watching. I don't know, but we didn't quite execute our plan there. Obviously, and it wasn't enjoyable for me, especially as defence and maul defence coach, to watch the ease with which they mauled us over there. That hurt my feelings a lot. But we'll messages on about how we fix that up, and we know they've got a very good maul, and they've had their one shot to implement in a half, so we've got to be aware of that as they kick to touch, and probably will again now.
Lovely. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Em.
Charlie back at
Thanks
that,
for you.
speaking to Jenny down pitch side as Langi Tuima thumps another touch finder, a good 30 metres. She's got a lovely languid strike on her.
She has, but I think definitely having watched Langi for a long time now, this is the biggest improvement, I think, in her game. Her kicking game has really come on. You know, she's always been a brilliant creative attacker, but how the consistency of which she hits these now is brilliant.
Advantage.
See the roll of the eyes there of Alex Callender. She makes precious few mistakes, but she drops that right into the breadbasket of Laura Keats. And now here come Lightning on the counter. Goldthorpe has it, straightens, floors the accelerator, but all slammed shot in defence by Beth Wilcock. They reload and go swiftly.
Advantage.
Davey really driving the tempo of this one, flexing all of those 102 appearances now.
Where you start,
experience-wise.
please just take a couple of steps back and kick it from the mark. We notice a few things.
Well, there is nothing quite like a bit of festive footy, and that is what is coming thick and fast over the next few weeks on TNT.
Okay,
Tomorrow, 6 p.m,
so
bottom of the log, Southampton will spend their Sunday evening hosting Spurs. And then from the pitch to the ring, we are fast approaching the unmissable heavyweight rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury out in Riyadh. You can watch that live next Saturday from 4 p.m. on TNT Sports box office.
Yeah, that's fine.
I caught up, Katie, with Rachel Malcolm just before kickoff. So good to see her back out there, looking fit. Says she's feeling really robust ahead of a massive year for Scottish rugby. But she said with a wry smile, it was our loss to Harlequins which kick-started their winning run. Why shouldn't we be the ones to end it? A narrative like that in the week, how powerful is it?
It's massive, you know. It's all about creating belief and change in fact, isn't it? You know, when you've been on the end of a couple of tough losses like that Loughborough have, you need to try and change that. And, you know, someone like Rachel Malcolm saying that, somebody who is so the life and soul of a team like Loughborough is massive. You know, having her getting closer to return will be massive for them, and I think will help this Loughborough team find their feet a bit more.
7 played the ball, 8's in front, then played as well offside.
And he's very experienced these days, Charlie Gay. One of the league's main referees, had the whistle on more occasions this season than anybody else. Does like a penalty. It's quite officious, 24 on average per match. So they will have to be on best behaviour today.
Well, and it's interesting, isn't it? You know, because we want a free-flowing game. We want that to be played advantage. I think, look, in that instance, he did nothing, really came happy to come back for the penalty. I think it's important, isn't that, referees are speaking to players, because what you don't want is a high penalty count without giving people or players the opportunity to act. And I think that's definitely something that obviously Charlie's doing today. He's trying to give players instructions to allow them to make good decisions.
They'll have to throw across. We need a manageable gap.
Freya Orkin finding Powell, and here is Tuima wide. For now, the only uncapped member of this Harlequins pack. Kelter playing Orkin there, so ball back with Langi Tuima. Going for the other touchline on this occasion.
Hopefully I haven't given a commentator's curse either.
Oh, Katie.
Retreat first! No, you're not.
Nelson returning that one with interest. But what this has done inadvertently, is given Quins a counter-attacking opportunity. And when you look at that back line, you think that is one to rival any in the league. Matai Tonga, though, getting low, driving hard and stopping Lisa Neumann. Bit of cross-communication there, both wide and Turani had eyes for that ball. Back it comes, Orkan. Onto Powell, lovely hands from Conkle, but no one there to receive the pass off the bootlaces of Kildon. Still going, extraordinary strength, wonderful footwork. Where's she going? Back on her shoulder, Connie Powell in support. The hooker keeping up with the World Player of the Year, extraordinary stuff. Here now, Conkle. Anna Key out on the pitch at Franklin's Gardens, and Harlequins looking to take full advantage of that. Flat pass, Orkan on to Turani. Tackle had to be made and was. Ives Campion with the shot that allows Lightning to regather on the scramble. Orders being barked, getting wide, getting stretched, and through a porous defence will rumble Jade Conkle. Awkward pass, Kaylee Powell, little inside ball onto the other Powell. This one, Connie. Loughborough defending with 14, finding Calendar, stretching and squirming, but just about hauled down.
After getting to her feet.
Look at all those options around the blind side.
Let go! Line!
So close to the line, surely the dam will burst. Try awarded, and it is Captain Fantastic and birthday girl this week, Jade Conkle, aging like a fine Scottish wine.
Isn't that a whiskey?
Buckfast?
Starts from here, isn't it? This is where loose possession from Loughborough. Connie Powell, who was in the beginning, like you say, kept up with Ellie Kildon there, offers support on that short line. I thought Skirfield had gone back and got her, and Ellie hadn't seen her from behind, but once Quins get in here, they're just so dangerous. They're so consistent on. Like you say, they've been working on this element of their game, making sure they take their opportunities. They just look so comfortable in possession. You know, Jade Conkle, but it was many a forwarded hands that have gone through before got to her. Good body position, chest nice and low. It means that defenders can't get underneath it, can't get hold of the ball. And it takes us even.
Lucy.
At last, flags are raised by Nikki O'Donnell and Simon Park. The kick's a good one. That gives Harlequins the lead for the first time.
Teeth or something like that. Looks to be just for the teeth. She's saying your prop's down in the goal, but she's just having a tooth looked at. No, we're carrying on. She's off the pitch, she's got medics. There you go, she's returning.
Bit of dental work being done there for Laura Keats. Where is Liz Craik when you need her?
Okay, let's go, please, 10.
Laura Keats is a dentist, though.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, there we go. In the safest possible hands.
Thank you.
And so are Harlequins off that kick-off because Kildon makes the kick, chases the kick.
Tackler's always there. Away now. Leave it, don't go in.
Goldsthorpe enveloped, and Davey looks to get it wide. Keats.
Tackle!
Nash has recovered, thrusting that one backwards to Davey. Abby Dugan, one-handed take, and then the fumble from Kelter. We saw what Harlequins did with the last turnover ball they were afforded.
Coming back. Knock on. Scrum white.
If Laura Keats is a dentist and Liz Craik is a dentist, then we just need a hooker who's got that qualification. You can have an entire front row of dental professionals.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
Let's go, Sylvia. Big engage. Big engage.
But I suppose from Laura Keats, you know, been around a long time, played in that 2014 World Cup, she went away, she obviously became a dentist, did a lot of studying, and then has returned back to the game, which is brilliant to see. You know, she also had some really nasty Achilles injuries along the way.
We've not got stability
when
on
you
the
talk about
side.
aging like a fine wine, she is definitely in that group.
Okay, let's reset.
Well, she came to Loughborough Lightning off the back of Worcester Warriors' desperately sad demise, and she spoke when she made the move about wanting to end her career on her own terms. There's still that burning hunger. She still wants to be in the mix for silverware, and really relishing as well the mentorship role she's found herself with at Loughborough Lightning, where they have some brilliant young props.
Yeah, I mean, it will kill me to say this, but she is a very good person, you know, somebody who, if you would like that mentor role, somebody to look up to, somebody who will support you, she is certainly a player that is more than capable of doing that.
Still do a job at scrum time too, that rock solid Claudia Pena, who has got such a box of tricks, showing off a couple of them there, the little hitch step, drawing in a pair of Loughborough defenders, and they had to work hard to retain that Harlequins. Ball ricocheting off the left palm of Lisa Neumann, and now Goldthorpe.
Come back, knock on. Scrum.
This would be one of them examples, again, like, Loughborough have possession, they've turned it over. It's only a scrum advantage. Why are we coming back from that? I think if it's a penalty, it's different. But, you know, Frank Goldthorpe, we know how attacking she is. We talked at the top of the show, her in open space there. We want to see more of that, as much as I love scrums. I don't think we need to come back all the time.
Crouch. Bind.
Meg Davey, the ultimate one-club woman here at Lightning, will fees this purple pack.
No.
Gets it out quickly. Nelson is waiting across the face. It's a skip pass onto Scarrett. 50-22 is on. She's given that a real rattle, but Neumann, with outstanding coverage and prescience to hoover it up. Goldthorpe and Scurfield combining with the tackle, but she's gone up over halfway, the Welsh woman. Joined Harlequins from Gloucester Hartbury at the start of the year, and what an impact she has made. What an impact Alex Callender has made. Scarrett's tackle, Harlequins penalty.
You've put yourself there? No, thank you.
Emily Scarrett not happy with that decision there. We'll see it here. I'm really enjoying this. Langi Tuma at the line, this little dummy, this little show, you're not really sure. I think the penalty was against Emily Scarrett for not releasing, but
Edge of the line here, please.
Al Cal there trying to get back as well. It's a tough one watching that back.
It's also Loughborough's fourth penalty of the match so far, each of which have come at the breakdown.
Which we know Quins will have done their homework on and will be an area they want to target.
Beneath darkening skies here in Northampton, Quinn after Quinn pile in. Orkin happy to leave it in there for now. Referee happy to let things rumble. Now they unleash the speedsters. It's Pena with a swerve and a slalom. Now Kunkel hunting for a brace, but her teammate Nelson makes that tackle. Connie Powell up and over the top of her opposite number, Catherine Tredder. Round the corner come Quins. Fleming on to Callender. This time they head to the open. Meters out now, the drive from wide there, formidable. Brings them to within a couple of meters. Here comes Callender at pace. Down at the base of the posts. Loughborough.
I've got held up unless you can tell me otherwise here.
Reckon that Anne Young have pulled a rabbit out of the hat here.
It's held up. We'll try and find an angle, okay?
Thank you. Time is off.
Steve Elishan, our TMO. He's got all the angles. He'll be spooling away.
That one's low. Go that one. Got anything behind?
This'll tell us.
It didn't tell me. This one might be a better one if the post is in the way.
I think Anne Young might have stopped Alex Callender. Anne Young and the post protector between them. Lightning's bench are whooping and hollering. Rachel Malcolm is screaming her delight from before us. The on-field decision, crucially, was no try.
Which is really important, isn't it? Because now he has to find evidence to overturn that decision. So he has to be able to see something different.
Are those all your angles, Leish?
Charlie, that's all the angles, so I can't overrule your decision, so it's your original decision.
Well, Alex Callender arrived as though fired from a cannon, but Anne Young has averted a bit of a crisis there, because that beneath the sticks, surely 7 points.
Most definitely.
Time on.
Nelson's drop out, finds Conkle, and it takes both Young and Treader to bring down the back rower. Here's Lizzie Hanlon, newly arrived from Exeter Chiefs and pulling up trees in West London. Another new signing, Powell, finding Kildare. He's been around these parts for a while, and here's another of their new recruits. How well Harlequins have done to assemble this squad, even if that attack amounts to nothing.
Knock on into touch. Would you like a scrum or a line out?
It's the key positions for me.
Scrum.
You know, like you say,
Scrum
Callender
called.
coming in.
Forward into touch.
Into that back row, you know, Penner into the centre to complement Ellie Kildare. It's really just balanced that Harlequin side.
Let's go. They're sinking then. Sinking down. Big scrum.
Nice little switch there, isn't it? But I think it just comes off the hand of Scurfield there, so for the scrum. But it's nice, isn't it? It's just looking for options, it's mixing it up, it's forcing Lightning into defensive decisions.
Was that quite sevens between Wilcock and Pena, both of whom have played a lot of that format? The instinct to switch?
I think so, especially when you're going laterally, isn't it? Because the last thing you want to do is carry into the 5 and get bundled into touch by your opposing winger. So yeah, that's a good decision by Wilcox, a good read from her on the wing.
And here is Wilcock with that distinctive green bow, fluttering in the wind. So much better to have conditions allowing quicker, more exciting rugby today. Powell shaping for the pass, but kept her eyes up all the time and eventually straightened, rode the contact. Wide, out and on to Tarani. Quins have a player down in the front line. Connie Powell just about prevented that from being a knock-on. Orkin. On to Callender, ball up and arriving at real speed there is the Welshwoman. Tursled though on her back, did well to get it away. Tarani stopped by Young. Big sleeves being rolled up. Muscular bodies getting to work, but just short. Tuima bats it backwards, sits up awkwardly, then knocked on by Wilcock.
Knock on the floor here.
Desperate times for Loughborough, but the sandbags do their job.
When she's picked and lifted before passing, they will go.
That is one of those coach kills, isn't it? When the forwards have gone through numerous phases.
Time off.
We see it here, we probably just gets moved at the wrong time, and it certainly goes the wrong way for me. Just needed to keep in the forwards and letting them keep working through their phases here, but I'm not sure Langy Tuima wanted that. It's good defence by Scurfield here, but a dreadful ball for Wilcox to try and do anything with.
Just 2 wins so far this season, Katie, for Loughborough Lightning, both in their own backyard against your very own Sale Sharks and against Leicester Tigers. Is it fair to say that what we've seen so far is up there with the best half of rugby they've pulled together this season?
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, you look at this Lightning paper on paper, and it is extremely talented, and one you would have thought would have turned over some of them mid-table sides. I think what they need to do is to find a way to click. You know, we're looking
I need
at
to see a clear daylight so they can present
how their forwards get them more gain line, because ultimately the backs are going backwards and makes it a really hard day in the office.
With her own player.
Has that made us realise then how valuable Emma Wassell has been to them over the years? Rachel Malcolm, their injury list is extraordinary at the moment. Kath O'Donnell as well, someone else who's always going to get you front foot balls. And then equally, someone as disruptive in the back line as Helena Rowland, just perhaps put forwards in the right positions to do that. 100%.
Kath O'Donnell and Emma Wassell not being in that second row, their end room. Look, they've got some great replacements in there. DeGurdy, Ives Campion, brilliant. but it's also the work rate it puts on elsewhere, because you think of the Kath O'Donnell, how many players it takes to bring her down. It just means your Daisy Hibbert-Jones, you know, the Keatses of the world, they're having to do more work to try and get more gain line.
Bind. Set. Round on the mark, reset.
And the fabulous turquoise and white scrum cap there is Donnell Lochner, on wearing 19,
We must
replacing
scrummage square.
Abby
We
Fleming.
can't step left, the both of us here, please.
Straight into that reset scrum. Caps in both netball and rugby for South Africa. Just a prototype, dynamic, tall timber.
Yeah, she is, isn't she? She's a tall girl, physical, you know. She means if she's had that netball background, she's gonna have real good hand-eye, good catch skills, which is what you want and what Quins want. You know, they want to get to the line, they want to tip. Players like that attract defenders and then can move the ball. Or gold dust at the moment.
Gold dust out on the field then, in the words of Katie Daly-McLean, gold dust seemingly in the heels of Alev Kelter, who always just makes a little something happen when she gets hands on ball.
Retreat first.
Nelson spiralling that one out to the 22, which, given the pressure she was under in the tiny dead ball areas here, it's fine work.
It was a great carry by Kelter though, wasn't it? Like you say, for me, the thing she does really well is she won't accept that first tackle. You know, some players, they get tackled, they go to ground. She's always got that secondary leg drive, always takes a couple of metres, which just buys her team a bit more time, and especially, like you say, Helen Nelson there, under a lot of pressure, needs as much time as she can get.
More dominant carries and post-contact meters than anyone in the Loughborough Lightning side. Connie Powell knows a thing or two about post-contact meters. So does Caitlin Leaney, the Wallaroo. So does Wide. Come to think of it, everyone in Harlequins can carry hard. Kunkel next to have a tilt. Kaylee Powell onto Tuima, decides to have a little dance and then get the offload away. Wilcock is that.
No more.
Ellie Kildon was hunting there in the midfield, but now she jogs back out onto the far wing as Lochner's first carry proves a potent one.
On top.
Orkin finds Powell, that flat as you like, and onto Hanlon. Kaylee Powell again, onto Tuima. Emily Scarrett with a brilliant defensive read and stops the offload. Does two players work in the tackle there?
No.
It's Harlequin's turn to go laterally. It's not getting any puncture right about now. Big defensive set this from Loughborough as half-time looms. There's a minute left on the half. 2 points in it. Harlequins desperate to be the first side to snap the bye-week curse. Kelter and Goldthorpe combine to catch themselves a lioness. It's Claudia Pena who they tackle. Wide. Grabbed by the ankles by Hibbert-Jones and down she tumbles.
Tackle away!
The phase count through the roof here at Franklin's Gardens.
Forward.
Look at what that means to Sadia Kabea. Look at what that means to Loughborough Lightning. You just wonder if we're starting to see a sleeping giant awaken in the PWR.
Look, that is a massive defensive set. With this clock at 39 minutes, the last thing Loughborough needed is to concede. They're moments that can change the course of a game. So the fact that they can see it out, look, Quins went through their phases. They just probably got a little bit sloppy towards the end here, but so comfortable. Great ball. Read by Emily Scarrett there to stop the ball, stop the offload, like you said. Forced Quins back, and then they just never regathered their shape, really. It's a little bit of an error, you know. Haven't done that, haven't got their 9 jump, and have generally used their forwards to pick. So, really good defence, and a big moral win there for Loughborough.
Set.
The floodlights flicker on and the ball is thumped off by Helen Nelson, and the co-captain will be delighted with the first 40 minutes that her sides have put out on the field against the side, lest we forget, that are on a 6-match unbeaten streak. 2 tries apiece, Hibbert, Jones and Kelter, Powell and Conkle down the other end. It's half-time at Franklin's Gardens, and Harlequins are leading by 12 points to 10. Speaking in the week, Catherine Tredder said that the big focus for Loughborough against Harlequins was not leaving themselves too much to do in the second half, coming out strong and having something they could carry into the second 40. It is safe to say, as the skies darken and the pyrotechnics flare, that they have done that and then some. Unfortunately for them, Harlequins said in the week that they cannot wait to do what has become their party trick in the second half here at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens, because Harlequins have developed the PWR's very first bomb squad. Even having to deploy Danelle Lochner ahead of schedule, they've gone with a 6-2 split on the bench, Ross Chisholm's women. And at some point soon, they're going to put all of those big, strong, hungry forwards out onto the pitch to wreak havoc on a tiring Lightning outfit, desperate to get their campaign up and running in earnest. Early doors, it's all Quins ball in the second half, and green and white playing from left to right. And for now, White Waves beating on an African violet shore as Kelter has to have 2 bites at the cherry that is Claudia Pena, but eventually gets the tackle done on the Spanish 7 superstar. Jace Conkle, captain and try scorer. Kelter with 3 tackles in the space of 67 seconds. Oh, and the turnover.
Thank you.
She really is a cheat code.
Look, and that's what you want, isn't it? People know her for her footwork, her steps, but then it's about defensive effort. It's that work rate. It's that ability to say, no, you know what it is? I'm going to stay in this fight, and then big reward and just a massive momentum flip as well.
Outside.
All been Quins, and now you get Lightning possession, merging into Quins 22, and here it is. Look, it's really good technique, isn't it? Clear release, nice good daylight, really easy decision for the referee to be able to award that penalty to her.
Tredder just about picks up Ives Campion. She had to juggle it, did Loughborough's main line-out target, but the job is a good one. And it's been a game of mauls as much as it's been a game of anything. Kelter in at first receiver with a barreling run.
Tackle was complete here. You've not released before getting back up to your feet.
Fucking hell, Nicole, unreal.
Well, we don't need to commentate, Katie. You heard Connie Powell there. Unreal. I think that sums it up perfectly.
It was a very good shot, wasn't it? You could hear it from up here. That kind of, I'm sure they would have talked about that at half-time, you know. I think that's why they took out there, stood in that kind of, just in that space between the maul and the first receiver. And there she is, comes in. Really good bit of defensive work from the back row.
Nicole Wythe, just 21 years old, came through the Harlequins Centre of Excellence as a prop. She's really finding her feet at blindside. And she's waiting in the midfield, as she so often does. So if she doesn't run over the top of you, she'll be in there with a clear out that you'll think about for days. Orkin so swiftly to that. Kildon at first receiver, and then Pena finding Neumann. Here is Calendar, who was denied by a fabulous and young Turtle. About 30 minutes played off the first half. She'll have some fire in her belly.
Then push the player.
She's done it again. Alev Kelter, the biggest pickpocket in all of Northampton.
Again, just really good decision-making at the breakdown, isn't it? Quins are playing some really lovely rugby, you know, they're going through their phases, really enjoying their forward work. Sometimes they're tipping, sometimes they're carrying, sometimes they're coming out the back. It's causing Loughborough a lot of issues in defence. You watch it here, then it's a really good shape. Tuma to the line, little dummy, then goes post-contact. Jay Conkle in behind, always playing from football. But here, Kaylee Powell misses her runner, gets isolated, and then there she is, over the ball. Maybe not enough daylight in that one.
Ilona Marr coming to the PWR. Hope Rogers scored 4 tries earlier on for Exeter Chiefs. Alev Kelter's just out there doing what she wants. The US Eagles, well, as opening round fixtures go at that World Cup, the Red Roses are going to have a busy evening.
They are, aren't they? I mean, like you say, that's some stats, isn't it? Kelter going well, Hope Rogers going well, and we haven't even talked about the big Bristol Bear signing, isn't it? Which is, it's going to be great, isn't it? That's what the league wants. You want the faces, you want the names, you want the stars performing, and they certainly are at the moment.
Christine Belisle is about to enter the fray, so this will be Laura Keats's final involvement of the evening.
Bind! No. Hookers are fine. Maintain your space and balance, please. Don't just keep pulling together. Say, Mark, quick reset. Let's go.
And there's a leadership piece with Kelter as well. She's just behind the scrum, wandered into the midfield. A little conversation with Emily Scarrett. Barking instructions now at Fran Goldthorpe, who's on her right-hand shoulder. She's a tactician too.
Bind! Set! Use.
Awkward pass there from Davey, who juggled and forced Emily Scarrett to reach right down onto her bootlaces, but they have got the ball away. Now Scurfield thinks she spotted a bit of unmarked turf in the backfield. It's a brilliant kick, and Wilcott did equally brilliantly to field it. Hibbert-Jones, who opened the scoring 50 minutes ago now.
Never on the ball.
Nelson's a willowy figure, but she is strong and did well to hold on to that underneath serious Harlequin attention. No-look pass from Corbea onto Kelter. Davies there with support. Kildon combining with Orkin to make the tackle. Kelter's got the ball again. How many Alev Kelters are out there? Over the top from Nelson. Bouncing ball. Goldthorpe has it, floors it, scores it. They're going to go back and have a look. There might have been a forward pass in the build-up, but Fran Goldthorpe might just have put Loughborough Lightning back ahead.
I think we're going to see that chalked off, don't you? Yeah, I think that might have been a forward pass from Corbea to Kelter on the initial line break as we watch it through here. It's good play as they come out the back. Great line, good engagement by Corbea. Watching it the second time, it's close. Gonna have to slow that down, but huge. See, like you say, Kelter in, out, ball in the hand, just carrying, so lively.
Possible forward pass, okay, before we even get to the trial.
You need me to take time off?
Yeah, take time off.
This is the one here, isn't it?
Time off?
Yeah, it's conclusive from that angle, isn't it? Sadia Corbea's hands finish forward there.
Game of inches.
From that angle there, 7 has lifted the ball in front and 12's taken it in front. So for me, that's a forward pass there. So scrum white.
Agreed, forward pass, Charlie.
No try.
It's tough though, isn't it? Because we watch it back. If that could have happened sooner, we didn't need to go so close to the line. You know, the job was done. Corbea did a really good job of fixing that defender. Kelter's come hard in the line. So just these small margins, and I'm sure this is what Nathan Smith has been saying all season. Lightning aren't that far away. It's just these little moments that are real crucial. That would have put them ahead.
Okay, we'll use the edge.
You see here, she almost could have hit her now, but then 3-4 steps just makes it forward.
Forward pass.
Let's go, Corny. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Nathan Smith did say this week that they really wanted to reward the Franklin's Gardens faithful at the end of 2024, give them a performance they could take heart from into the new year. And based on the noise as Goldthorpe went over there, they're really starting to buy into this.
Look, the performance isn't the issue. I think, you know, last weekend was probably a different outing, wasn't it? Storm Darrow played havoc. But in terms of what Lightning are doing, it's not like they're not playing good rugby. The problem is they're just not getting over the line and they're not getting their results. And I think that's what becomes difficult, because that then becomes a bit of a pressure cooker. Do you need to change the way you're playing? Do you need to change something major?
Up with the
or like you
as
say,
well.
do you just need to believe in what you're doing and know it will come.
Let's get ourselves in the scrum.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, CB. Let's go, Kate. Let's go on. Seconds. Seconds in.
You can't
Crouch.
tell, but he is a much happier figure today, no doubt, than he was last week.
Bind.
As the reigning champions rumbled into and
Set.
out of town, taking the
Stay
full
9.
5 points from what was a pretty torrid afternoon for those in purple. Quinns through Kaylee Powell, this time popping up at second receiver and showing all of the swerve and the verve that saw her head to the Paris Olympics as a reserve for the GB7s team.
Tackle.
Nothing swervy about that from Kunkel. That was just hard, fast running. Calendar holds down. What a signing she has been. And that from Powell, even more forward than the one preceding it.
Yeah.
This is a lovely little scrum play. Again, that lady, Langi Tuma, again, just a lovely little show and go as she gives that nice little dummy, then comes out the back. I think she's been great for Quinns today. You see Kaylee Plow here, you know, in that 10 shirt. But having somebody like Langi alongside her in that second making shirt allows the strength of Kaylee Plow, which is the running game, right? It's allowed ball in hand. We see her carry. She looks very comfortable. But I think that combination of them two in that 10 and 12 shirt has been really, really good for Quinns this season. It's getting that nice little balance of run, play to the line, playing away, the little ball ovation that Tuma does so well.
We actually got very geeky in the week, and we had a look with our brilliant stats team
Gonna continue.
here at TNT at how the different fullbacks in the league play and how the different midfields play. And Ellie Kildani, you can see there leading the team talk. She gets more first and second receiver touches on the ball than any of the other
Yeah, you can send the
fullbacks. So
replacement
they've
on.
actually, through her,
Harlequins.
through Langi and through
Number 9
Kaylee,
is
is it
being
fair to
replaced.
say they're starting to assemble
Yes.
a really dexterous midfield?
Yeah, and what it does, it allows you to play both sides of the ball. Usually your 10s pull your shots, you know, and also it means the work rate is a bit
Yes.
different because it allows, if you're like Quinns and you get to an edge, you've got somebody like Ellie Kildun who's close to the ball, just jumps in that first receiver and they can play back. So speed still fall up as well, but having multiple players that can sit comfortably, engage in line, tipping in forward, just allows your 10s to really organise because they're not just worried about what's in front of them and what's happening next.
They've got pretty decent depth at scrum half too at Harlequins when it comes to their half-backs. On comes Emma Swords, Ireland international. Lucy Packer is fit. She's just been rested this week.
Crouch.
Emma Swords, who knows London better than most black cab drivers. London Irish, Saracens, Harlequins, Trail Finders and back again.
It's been very funny today, Claire.
Quote on that. Compliments are hard to come by with you.
Stop.
Emily Scarrett with a raking low effort, just about stopped mid-flight by Pena and gathered by Kildun. There is a blockbuster meeting of two absolute scorchers. Chrissy Scurfield tackling Kildun,
Off feet.
but in off her feet over
4
the
and
top was Abby Dogood.
Please don't come on and start appealing.
It's unlucky, isn't it? Because the work rate of Christy Scurfield there to get there, to make that a better kick than probably it was by Emily Scarrett was huge. And then it's just that she hasn't stayed on her feet. You know, if you go through the ball, through that ruck, there's no problem with it, but you can't then die on the other side. You see there, great tackle, great work rate, effort, then gets back up. But that second bit there, when she gets almost squashed by other players,
Stop. There's
she
2
has
balls
to
on the
stay
field.
up there.
Thank you. Okay, Quinns, hooker in the middle. Thank you. Step out, you're on the edge. They will come in and hooker will stand in the middle. Let's go.
Kaylee Powell on to Lochner. Down comes the ball, but down tumbles the maul. And so good to see Jade Kunkel, having wiped tears from her face, back straight into the mix. Such a tough time with injuries. But she's out there fighting. And that a big turn up. A little shift in momentum the last few minutes. Harlequins have got tails up
Sorry,
now.
12.
Yeah, they really have, haven't they? And especially with like multiple penalties back to back there, it's just marched Quinns, what, probably going to cost them 80 metres?
Thank you.
That's a great
Line,
kick as well.
yeah.
They're the
Thank
ones
you.
that really capitalise on
On the
momentum,
edge,
like you say,
6
bit of a
called.
momentum shift, and then she bangs their line out onto the 5.
I want to come back to those touch finders, Katie. Remind. But for now, let's savour the outcome of it, which is that Connie Powell has hit the tail with an absolute peach. 20 metres that sailed, and 10 metres has disappeared. There's an advantage coming Quins' way, and they're 3 metres out now from what would be a 3rd try. Ball swiftly away. Ball looks over the whitewash. There's the score.
18 entries.
With the bye-week curse in their crosshairs, Harlequins have their 3rd, and it's Sylvia Turani rising with the plaudits.
It's a great, look, it's a really smart play by Quins, but that was all on Loughborough's mistakes there. They didn't really have to work that hard for it, you know. Multiple penalties back to back, and like we touched on, that kick from Tuma, what a throw by Connie Powell, back of the line now, top end of the jump. And then again, it's that maul, isn't it? We talked about it the first half, really stable, really supported, good movement, and then here, good body position. Is it Turani finishes? And to be honest, that was probably a bit easy. It was a bit
try,
soft
Charlie.
after we
Well
watched Loughborough defend for 20 phases just before the end of the first half to concede then in the second or third.
Well, she found the touch. Every ounce of focus. She adds the extra 2. Fine work from gun to tape by Langi Tuima. The gap is 9.
White 2.
And it's not
Yeah,
quite a
five's coming
whole
off as
bomb
well.
squad,
I've seen 2 players enter.
but they have lit the touch paper, Harlequins, because Connie Powell is off, so too Caitlin Leaney, which means that Karis Phillips is on to the field. And so too is Sarah Bonner, formerly of this parish. 3 years she played for Loughborough Lightning.
Always inside.
Scotland International is out there now, where she will take some containing.
That is another top draw kick
Edge.
by Tuma there. If you watch
Quins
her,
on the edge, please.
really, really aware of her surroundings, so where the edge of that 22 was, held her feet, didn't move, makes a great connection, and again puts Loughborough back another 30
Keep
metres.
the space for me here, please.
You've won a World Cup at standoff. How much of a confidence thing are those touch finders? How much does that tell us about where this Harlequins team are?
Yeah, massively. She will have worked really hard on that, so she's not putting them there by luck. She knows her range. But I think, yeah, when you start seeing a couple go out, it definitely gives you more confidence to be like, you know what it is, I'm going to gamble with this one, or I'm going to gamble with that. And when you're striking the ball as well as she is, it's great to see.
Loughborough playing from deep, courtesy of the boot, the cannon of Tuima. Davey finding Scarrett. She's got Nelson in support, and Matai Tonga too, plying themselves over the ball. Quins not contesting for the moment. Happy to bounce back to their feet to maintain plenty of bodies in that defensive line. That from Neumann, uncharacteristic, and a bit of the get out of jail free card.
It's touch the physio then. Edge of the line, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good kick. You know, they weren't going anywhere there, Loughborough. I thought she'd overcooked it, if I'm really honest, but no, really good kick. Forces Neumann to take the catch there, doesn't she? Because she can see the line in her peripheral vision, and then it's just a hard catch going back as well. But good kick by Helen Nelson there.
Perhaps still thinking about those wonky throws in the first half. Treader sends that one in the other direction. Cabea all too happy to oblige, and then not rolling was Karis Phillips.
Quinn 16.
An inauspicious first involvement for the Welsh hooker.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because Loughborough now need the territory here, but they've got a line-out that isn't functioning super well, and if we're honest, hasn't functioned brilliantly all season. It's below 75%. It's one of the lowest functioning line-outs in the league, and I think that for them is huge. When you are getting opportunities, and you're getting opportunities to go and challenge, but your set pieces letting you down in games that are close, they're big fixes that I'm sure Charlie Beckett is working really hard with girls on.
You just all walked into the gap. You got a mark. Free kick. Free kick. Free kick here. Just closing the gap and walking forward.
Well, Loughborough's ill discipline piggybacked Harlequins
Let's
up
go,
one
please.
end. Harlequins are now returning the favour. It's like sports day here at Franklin's Gardens. Cabella adds another few metres through contact to her tally. Ives Campion. There's an overlap here, if Lightning can just use it, but you don't need an overlap if you've got the feet and the hands of Olev Kelter. She's had the freedom of Northampton so far today. Scarrett on the full, finds Matai Tonga. Quins with an opportunity to reset here. Look at them glut to the ball, but Loughborough can sense blood in the water. So many bodies in at that breakdown, keeping it tight for now. Scurfield's out wide. Kelter is lurking to the side of this one, but for now, keeping it meaty.
Back here. You must roll away.
Cabella goes quickly. Loughborough want to score, and they want to do it now.
Short.
Still short. Inches away.
Short again.
Poking and probing and wondering when the Quins dam might just burst.
Hands up here, Quins.
Desperate times for Harlequins. Doing all that they can and doing it well for now. For now, they stand firm. But there is the score. Loughborough Lightning have their third, and it couldn't have gone to a more deserving, destructive individual. Sadia Cabella is back scoring tries in the PWR. It's like she's never been away.
She doesn't look like she's been away either, Tisha, let's be honest. She's outstanding last weekend against Gloucester. Most tackles, I think she made 26 tackles there, and she's scoring tries today. Here's where it comes from. I thought Kell had gone the wrong way there, but you see she puts Emily Scarrett away, who gets a 2v1. Probably not a greatest pass, and it allows Newman to recover. But here again, that lady, Sadia Cabella, quick thinking. No, they don't want to go to the line now. Need to keep the pace and the tempo high. And it's down to those forwards, you know, working hard, good body position. Goes against somebody like Sarah Bonner, who's much taller than her, can't get underneath. And it was a huge score for Loughborough.
Thank you, Lish. No, you took a step back. That's a motion towards
Flags
the ball.
stay down on this occasion, but with 20 minutes left to play, there's just a score in it. So let's head to the Harlequins coaching box, because Jenny Drummond is stood by with Ross Chisholm.
Left or right?
Ross, this is turning out to be quite a tight match indeed. What are you making of it?
Yeah, look, it's two good sides going at it. It's a real even contest. I think the breakdown at the moment is probably where the game's going to be kind of won and lost in this last 20 minutes. So, yeah, just a bit of a focus around that, I think.
Are Lightning surprising you a little bit with how tight this is?
No, not at all. It was such a competitive game in the first time we played them, and we sort of felt that, you know, they were probably a side that was maybe underperforming a little bit, so we always knew it was going to be a challenge. And actually, away from home, Franklin's Gardens is always a difficult place to come anyway, so not at all, really.
Look, I appreciate your time, especially when you just conceded a try, sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
So measured, so cool and calm as ever, Ross Chisholm, and that really does bleed down into his players by all accounts.
No, you pulled out.
They trust him implicitly. Every week he adds something to their playbook. Every week he comes up with something, and it's been paying off all right. 6 wins on the spin, and 4 points worth of buffer ahead of a Loughborough Lightning side who've got the bit between their teeth today.
Tackle away!
It's been end-to-end stuff. And it's Harlequins with ball to flags. Kildone with it. There's the step. There's the draw. Might just have been dropped over the line by Lisa Neumann.
Try.
TMO's surely got to have a little look at that, just to make sure, if nothing else.
She didn't even celebrate it until the try was given. If Matai Tonga stopped this.
Yeah, that's knocked on. TMO's now got to have a look at it. Surely she gets a nice little hand in there, doesn't she? Just knocks out Lisa Neumann's hand. So as she's going over, she's not in control of it.
Charlie, I think we need to look at this, because I think she's lost it forward.
Time off. TMO.
For me, not enough downward pressure. I think she's lost it forward.
Before this,
so
please look at the bright orange boot. I think she touches the line beforehand. There. So for me,
spot on.
Line out.
Spot on, Charlie.
Line out. Loughborough ball 5 metres.
Line out is the first call. Well done.
So look, this is great, but ultimately he's happy to award the try before that. I think there was a lot of influence there from external factors before, and then because it's been replayed on the big screen here. I think that's where, for me, if you've got the TMO, use the TMO. In games like this that are really, really important, referees need to be working as a team.
Yeah, there's a sub being made, so they don't know yet. I'll give you time to adjust.
No harm in checking. Jade Conkle, as you'll know, as someone who's captained plenty yourself.
How many?
Just always ask the question.
Okay, I'm giving them time to adjust.
And that's what Rachel Malcolm's very good for Loughborough, isn't she? Jade Conkle, maybe runs in the Scottish water up there. Just asking a question, Ref.
The Scottish wine.
Ah, yes. Not that whiskey.
Isla Curfey is on for Lightning, and she'll be on lifting duties right away, hoisting Lily Ives Campion up, juggled by Davy. And this time, they will look to get a couple of carries in first by the looks of it. Nelson is lurking in the pocket.
Good step, just a step. Thank you.
At the home of the Gallagher Premiership
Retreat
champions.
first, wingers on.
The sort of summit that Loughborough want to find themselves back at. And yet again, she's done excellently.
Really good kick again, under a lot of pressure, isn't she? So hard when your forwards aren't winning the gain line, because it means Quinn's defence are just set and ready to come and put lots of pressure on you, whereas if they're winning a bit of gain line and getting Quinn's moving backwards, it's harder for them to come off the line and put as much pressure on the kicker.
Phillips to Callender, to Phillips again. This time Neumann makes no mistake, swerving and bringing Harlequins to within touching distance once more. It was Matai Tonga again. She'll be sick of the sight of her, Neumann, who made the tackle there. Big carry from Hanlon. Being rootled for by Swords, who finds wide, takes 2 Loughborough players to bring down the blind side. Eventually the shot sticks. Phillips assessed her options and decided just to get her head down and chug. Tarani, the try scorer. Megawatt presence she is within the squad. Such an energy giver, such a character.
Away!
Again she goes. Harlequins working tirelessly, relentlessly. This would be their bonus point score. Oh, and so close, and eventually over. What a finish that was. And it's Emma Swords, the scrum half, with all of the nous and the raw power to bring up the bonus point for Quins.
Very good 22 attack work from Quins, and it's just super clinical. They just look so confident in what they're doing. You know, this is a lovely little first phase by Carol Phillips to a fellow Welshie, Lisa Neumann, and again just gets them in behind, and then once they get going, they get round the corner so well. Multiple carries, and here just see good 9 play, isn't it? Scrum half gets ahead up, has a little look,
Charlie. Good try,
and she good body management there. She goes in between 2 players, scrum half, and I think it's one of the second rows, and just looks so comfortable.
No, she just broke up then.
I said, good try, Charlie. Well done.
Thank you.
Oversails the conversion, and that has been one of the differences. 3 unconverted scores for Loughborough Lightning. Langi Tuima not missing since that early one. And it gives Harlequins 15 minutes left to play, a commanding position. They spent their bye week playing Christmas games, relaxing, recharging, and eating burritos. No signs of the curse as things stand.
Retreat. On the edge. Thank you. Quins on the edge, please.
for her fans. Treader finds Ives Campion. Lightning needs to respond here. It's got a little bit quiet in here. I just feel as though wind might be ebbing from Purple Sails. That better from Mathai Tonga. That had some bite and some snarl. Davy finding Dogood. Snagged by Calendar. And they go again quickly. Scarrett on to Curfey, who had the most extraordinary of cameos off the bench last week. 39 minutes Isla Curfey played, 6 defenders beaten and 2 scrum penalties won. How many props can claim those sorts of numbers? Involved there as Loughborough win the penalty, which they take quickly up to the 10-metre line. Ives Campion with the pop pass and then the support. Cabella gets low. Makes her presence known.
Time off. Doctor, please.
And you can hear there Nicole Wythe in some real pain down there.
That's okay. Thank you.
She's got Conker with her, providing comfort, and we will let the medics do exactly what it is that they need to do at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
That issue's coming from the truck, that's nothing I can do about.
It might be, Katie,
Okay, that's fine. We'll
that
just
this
keep going
pause
the way
is
we are.
exactly what Loughborough Lightning need, a chance to stem the bleeding, a chance to regroup,
thank you, Ollie.
because there have been the definite sense of a tide turn in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, there was moments at the beginning of that second half where, you know, it was kind of Quins, then it was like, but this kind of last 10-15 minutes, it's been all Quins, you know, they've gone extremely well, they've capitalised, they've been very clinical on their 22 entries and, you know, probably very deserved of their 26-point their lead.
I've got nothing on screen, I've got the badges, that's it.
They're not short on leaders in that group either. There are so many national captains or individuals involved, and similarly Harlequins with some big personalities. I mean, Jade Conkle there, but equally look at all the individuals in that group.
I know.
If they are to go the distance this year, they're not going to lack for experience.
No, and that's going to be huge. I think what they're doing is they're going about their business really well. So obviously you would argue that that group of leadership, whoever's in it, is doing their job. You know, they're going pretty much under the radar. 6 wins. I think definitely in the second half of the season, teams are going to now be doing their homework on them and previewing. They haven't been of years the force that they were, but we're starting to see that now, but in a very different way. You know, they were very pack dominated, always went to the set piece. Whereas now, for me, they've got such a lovely balance, you know, the Jay Conkles, the carries, but Langy Toomas, the Kaylee Powells, we've touched on, the way it allows the people like Ellie Kildun and Lisa Neumann, Beth Wilcox to get some running meters in. They've got a really balanced way of playing, which makes them hard to defend, right? Because you're not just going up against one thing, you're going up against 3 or 4.
Well, that actually brings to mind something that Steve Halsey said in the week, which was really striking. He said that teams didn't quite rate them towards the start of the season, but what they've gone on to do is not only earn the respect of other sides in this league, but they've proven that they're multifaceted, almost evocative of a hydra. You cut off one of their heads and another one just grows back, and you're right, they can do it any which way this year.
They can, and I think that is what the PWR is becoming, right? We've seen teams win it previously, your Saris, your Quins, and they've won it in very set ways, generally with a big pack that have mauled teams to death. I think what you're going to find now, Gloucester Hartby were very different, you know, a bit more of a hybrid model. I think the game has moved on again, that you can't just rely on your pack or you're having really good backs. You've got to be able to mix and match when you need conditions of weather, opposition, time of the season, especially at the condensed nature of these games. You've got to be able to just pick it up, and I think that's totally right from Steve. You know, I don't think teams look to Harlequins how they used to as that big force.
They only won 4 games last season, Harlequins. Their table position really flattered them, finishing in 7th. And what is good to see is that walking off the pitch, receiving the utmost care, is Nicole Wythe, and we sincerely hope that it's not as bad as it first looks, that we have her back again soon, because she is an extraordinary young woman, a brilliant talent. There's so much to come from her.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a dislocated shoulders, isn't it? And especially the kind of the pain she was in. But like you say, she's been phenomenal today. I thought she got round the park. Her physicality for such a young player has been huge, you know. And really, that 6 shirt looks like it's one that's going to be hers for many years to come, we hope.
richly deserved round of applause. Will Harlequins be concerned, Katie, that their final 4 games of the regular season are in order without pause? Saracens, Chiefs, Bears, Gloucester, Hartbury?
If you want to run in, it doesn't get much tougher than that, does it? I think, look, we were chatting about it earlier, weren't we? I think it works 2 ways, you know, it's a tough run-in, but given the form they're in, given probably where they will sit in this table now, it might be exactly what they need. It means you're going to get to find your potential, your semi-opposition, and if you get that far, your final very recently. Sometimes that's hard if you face them really early in the second part of the season, and then they improve, and then you don't meet them again. It doesn't give you that kind of insight.
Crossfield from Nelson, couldn't quite be diffused by Kildun, but she's done well to usher it off the pitch. Crisis averted for now.
It's touched wide. You're on the edge, please.
Kildun's not convinced.
She wants the TMO. Let's have a look at that as well. Nice little TMO signature there.
Regardless, Treader has picked out Daisy Hibbert-Jones, who's now started 21 straight PWR matches for Loughborough Lightning. Formerly of your parish, a former Sale Shark. And you can hear her now over the referee's mic, 1-2, 1-2, exhorting her troops. If Loughborough's maul has faltered this season, it has been in fine fettle today, and look at them now, still going with an advantage to flex. This is a team that do not need asking twice to give it some fizz. Alev Kelter, still threatening, still giving Harlequins grey hairs and inching ever closer to that whitewash. 3 meters in it, this would flip the game on its head, this would blow things wide open. Scarrett heads back in field, now she accelerates, Emily Scarrett with a towering carry. Held up by Harlequins.
Clearly a maul.
They've made that one a maul. They have single-handedly diffused.
This isn't going anywhere.
One of the greatest to ever do it. But back we come to the penalty.
It's good by Loughborough though, isn't it? It's definitely better, it's what they need. You know, we were talking about these points.
I'll give you the correct mark.
Capitalise here, get within 7. Get 4 tries, it gives them 2 points in a game that they've lost, which, like we've said, will be huge come the end of the season. Big line there is no.
Okay. Time off. I'll check. Yeah.
This Loughborough's 9th visit to the 22s. They are well down on their average seasonal return. But they won't care about those numbers if they can get the job done here. And based on all the evidence so far today, Katie, their maul is looking good.
Yeah, their maul is not the problem, is it? Once the ball gets in, that's kind of the big thing that I'm sure they're talking about now, is making sure they're really clear on the call, where they're going, that everybody does their job. And like you say, I think we are thoroughly expecting them to maul this over.
6 called. Let's go, Loughborough. Yeah, stay on the line.
The biggest throw of Catherine Treader's afternoon, without doubt. Will they play it safe? Or will they stick it all on purple? Finds Hibbert-Jones. Big counter drive from Harlequins, even bigger from Loughborough. Brought down by the visitors. They're going to be shown a card.
20, collapse.
They will defend this next one with 14 players on the pitch. Sarah Bonner is off.
How can you give a yellow card but not a penalty try after multiple 22 offences as well? That is a big call from Charlie Gaither there.
Back at her old stomping ground, Sarah Bonner will spend 10 minutes, basically the remainder of this match, as a spectator, and that only. For a second time, look at the appetite here. It's furious from Loughborough Lightning. It's Catherine Treader with the bonus point score. And this game is alive and fighting. Loughborough Lightning are starting to look like the sum of their formidable parts.
What a 10 minutes this could be, isn't it? We're in within one score now with, is it Helen Nelson to take the conversion to come. You would never have thought this game would be this close. Quins have been so dominant, and then here a couple of moments, penalty, yellow card, they go back, they do the same thing, they get better formation this time. A nice little roll done, then they lose 5-6 Quins players out the back of it. Then it's an easy score from Catherine Treader once all that hard work's been done.
Try is good, Charlie.
Thank you.
The first strike of Helen Nelson's afternoon, and it is a beauty. 6 points in it, make that 4.
What a 10 minutes. You know, we knew this game was going to be good. Not sure we thought it was going to come down to 4 points in the last 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes ago, because it looked like Quins had wrapped it up right with a nice little bow on. But Loughborough don't say die, starting to fire. Who knows how it's going to end?
Bonus points have proven so elusive for Loughborough Lightning this season. On 4 occasions, they've scored 3 tries. It's been a real sore spot. At the moment, they'll take 2 points from this, but make no mistake, they want the win. And the coolest customer in this Franklin's Garden is Helen Nelson.
Retreat first.
First kick off the tee.
Thank you.
2 huge points.
Back from Pink. Still in.
Harlequins down to 14, remember.
Strip before tackle's complete.
And a strip from Christine Belisle. Given right back.
Holding. 21 clearly lifting.
Again,
Pink 18 holding on.
Slightly post-watershed language just leaking into our coverage there, so apologies. These are fraught moments.
I'll have a look.
It's tough, isn't it? Because it's a great rip.
Let's go,
She does so well, but then because she's done it so well, almost gets isolated, gets ended up on her back, and it's a good turnover by Emma Swords, isn't it? There, she's realised, recognised, good quality 9 play there. Not as good as that other kicks that we've seen from her. Potentially other side is a right foot, and if she gets that wrong, it goes out the back line there, but nice and safe, gives this Quins pack another opportunity.
Our Quins pack working with 7 personnel. Nothing subtle about this. Up to Calendar, the combination we have seen over and over again. Awkward pass there, really exposing her ribs, was Kaylee Powell through the midfield. Jade Conkle with a captain's carry, implausibly still going through 3 4 Loughborough bodies. Tarani still going out there. 73 minutes the loose head has played. She is pure dynamite. And again, crashing over. Harlequins on the ropes. And then Jade Conkle said, don't worry, I got this. 5th try.
When you need your captain to stand up and lead, that is how you do it, right? It's not about what you say, it's about your actions. The carry from the fine line, really, really smart line. And when you've got somebody like Sarah Bonner off, we're not going to go back to see you, but they just go 5-man in and out. And then this is such a good carry, isn't she? Breaks 2 tackles, well in behind. And then you've got that lady, Sarah Tarani there, good carry again. But look who's ready to go. She's recycled, they're lined up. Just a work with, isn't it? Comes in, great carry, and just uses the post to help her. Well played, Jade Conkle.
Inverness's most uncompromising.
Good call, Charlie. Well done.
Talisman. She was in tears half an hour ago.
Having her ankle strapped back to her boot. And now look at her literally rampaging.
Time check, Roy. 15 seconds.
Kicks, a good one. Harlequins grow their lead. And such canny stuff there from Langi to Ema. eating into every available second of that shot clock as the yellow card ticks down and the time remaining on this one ebbs away.
Hang on. Still waiting for the fullback.
A couple of changes being made here. On is Leah Green for Loughborough Lightning, wearing 23. She replaces Fran Goldthorpe. And Maya Mueller is wearing 23 for Quins, but make no mistake about it, the Swedish international is a flanker. Former Loughborough Lightning. But she's got the speed of her back. She was winning European 7 silverware over the summer. Brilliant athlete. Nice hands these. Green through Wardby, and now this is Kelter, who will not give up until the full-time whistle sounds. Duguid, Nelson and Scarrett. Corbea, not done, not done. Sadia Corbea still going. Look at the carry. Lofts the offload into the awaiting arms of Caris Phillips. Opportunity amounts to nothing, and you wonder if that moment right there, that might have been the game.
Yeah, it would have been a big moment, wouldn't it, to get some points back on the board and to close that gap again.
Inside.
We've seen her do it. We've seen Sadia Corbea
It'll
on
be
this
carried back.
very emerald rectangle just take matters into her own hands and win games for Lightning. She has the power.
Retreat first. Thank you.
End over end from Plough. There are options on this near touchline, but the pass there really unforgiving for Christy Scurfield. Ball in 2 hands, bounces back against the grain. Kaylee Powell makes the tackle. Here is Wardby rolling and placing. And there's a real sense of urgency about Loughborough Lightning, which they will need, because 3 minutes remain in
Tackle
this one.
release. No, no.
Up to the 10-metre line, need to get a move on here. A score at this stage brings them into losing bonus point territory, but that has just given it back to Harlequins.
Pink 4 holding on. Come on then, let's go.
Touch just about missed. The twinkling toes of Chrissy Scurfield with a moment of skill that Maddie Levi would be proud of. Now Corbea shaped for the offload, but the quick ruck ball will suffice. Look at that, there's a 3-on-2. Emily Scarrett though, heading back infield, ball tucked under one arm, hands it to Tuima, studs it back upfield, leaden legs on Helen Nelson. Pressure's on, Claudia Pena combining with Beth Wilcock.
Tackle!
And there are exhausted bodies out there.
Offside.
Scurfield screaming for it. Harlequins offside.
Over. We're carrying on.
A deep breath from Nelson. Just run back
10-metre line.
50 metres under all sorts of pressure to gather that.
Time off. Quins, you'll be on the line.
We'll be swapping the oval ball for a distinctly spherical one a little bit later on this weekend.
White
As Southampton
13's being
host
replaced.
Tottenham on TNT Sports 1.
Please,
That will wrap up your weekend nicely.
9-2.
Not the only thing we've got
13
going
and
on.
9 being replaced.
Got some boxing for you live on, of course, TNT Sports Box Office next Saturday from 4 o'clock. It's the rematch, the eagerly awaited one between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, out in Riyadh and utterly unmissable.
9-2-13, and what was the last number?
Nathan Smith empties his bench. The Cavalry head out onto the turf here at Franklin's Gardens, which means, Katie Daly-McLean, it's time for me to ask you one of the most important questions of the afternoon. Who will be the lucky recipient of the Clinique Gameface Player of the Match Award today?
I mean, look, for me, there's been some standout performances. I thought Loughborough started brightly. But I think, you know, from a Quinn's perspective, I thought Langi Tuma has been absolutely brilliant. The way she's run the game, the touches, the interplay between herself and Kaylee Powell has been brilliant. But for me, she's just in your left of your screen at the moment. It is Captain Fantastic Jade Conkle. She's led from the front, not just with word, with actions. And that try there just before 75 minutes was huge.
The play off the line out was scintillating from Loughborough, but another pass adjudged to have drifted forwards. It's the only direction forwards that Jade Conkle knows. When they have needed her most, Katie, she has simply taken control.
She has, you know, like we joked earlier, didn't you? She was in tears, looked like she was in tears, getting an ankle strap, a lot of tip, but just the way she played, she's quiet, she isn't brash, but it's just the way she plays. She's a bulldozer, full of energy. But the thing for me, and I think definitely with the game and her maturity, is how she controls the game. Smart decisions around 5-man lineouts, the way she carries, and then when a job needs to be done, she's like, give it to me, I'll do it.
We're celebrating her for her rugby abilities here, of course, but it also should be mentioned she's a serving firefighter, and we actually spoke late last night. She was at work, saving lives, making people safe. She's an extraordinary individual.
It is, isn't it? And this is what's brilliant about PWR, right? You've got all these amazing stories, but you've also got rugby players that are first rate. Whereas now you've got these, like you say, saving lives. It's so much more important. But the shift she's put in for these girls and for Harlequins today has been phenomenal.
And there's no one in Harlequins who would be less interested in a bag of cosmetics.
That is so true. I think Emma Sauce will get her hands on them.
Well, that's a pretty appropriate way to bring about full time here. Harlequins forwards have been so uncompromising, and yet they fancy one more nibble.
Yeah, again, Jade Conkle, though, isn't it? Like, well, don't kick this out, we're going to the corner. Big opportunity here as well for Langi Tua to get them right as close as she can. It's not bad.
Thank you.
Giving that a right lash has Langi Tuima. And our next game, when it comes to PWR that we'll be bringing you live, is a big game by name and by nature, as we will be at Allianz Stadium in Twickenham as Harlequins host Leicester Tigers.
Time off.
As we pause, because we've lost a player in the backfield. Katie, let's talk about big game and how Harlequins are chasing back-to-back club match world records for women's attendances. Speaking to some of their team a little bit earlier on, they're almost sold out. Imagine selling Twickenham out for a club match. And just if anybody's listening here who was wondering about going along and snapping up on these tickets, why should they go and get there early to watch the women's game first?
Look, I think Quins have always been ahead of the game in this stuff, haven't they? The way they use the big game, not as the big game just to celebrate rugby, but really to support women's rugby as well. It's been going on for many years, but I think for me, the difference now is the quality of what the women's game offer. Previously, we were saying, look, we want supporters, we want to grow the game. Now we're saying we've got a product to sell, and that is huge, I think, especially the way Quins have gone about their work today. It's going to be a big day for Leicester, you know, to be part of that, celebration. But these girls are playing some phenomenal rugby, and if nothing else, you've got the World Player of the Year starting in a 15 shirt, so it's pretty special, isn't it?
It's not bad. And the prospect of, well, if Leicester Tigers have everybody available to them, Fran McGee going up against Ellie Kildon out on the beautiful pitch at Allianz Stadium, it is mouth-watering. And also a handy chance for Harlequins to simulate a big occasion, because it's been a long time since these girls played knockout rugby under that sort of pressure. Is it almost a dress rehearsal for a potential semi-final?
It's like a curse, isn't it, just waiting to happen. Look, I think the opportunities like that are great, aren't they? They're great for the girls in the club scene who don't necessarily get that opportunity to play in front of such great crowds. But I think the other thing is, what's great is for your internationals in that squad as well. Coming to 2025 World Cup, where it's going to be stadiums, where it's going to be noisy again. Just really good opportunity for those girls that might not be used to that, to go and experience that noise, the fanfare, and everything that comes with big occasions.
Big occasions need big game players. So let's take a look at Jade Conkle's contributions this afternoon, because we have hit full time here at Franklin's Gardens, and well, she couldn't have been more instrumental.
No, you know, we're probably not going to see our best bits here. This looks like a 2-metre try, doesn't it? But this was probably the big one for me. Big carry from a line out, good decision. It's a good tip, but it's that secondary leg drive. This is when this game was within one score, you know. She makes nearly over 20 metres there for her side. And then for me, it's not about it's the next job, isn't it? It's that work rate. And that's what you want from your captain. You want somebody who's gone 75 minutes and said, you know what it is, I'm going to keep going. I expect you guys to come with me. And that for me is why she's the player of the match today. 2 tries, yes, but all the other bits around the park, the way she's led, the way she's behaved, is a really good example of how you captain a side that's going well.
I know that you also run through all the permutations for both eventualities for player of the match. I imagine someone who was in your thinking for Loughborough Lightning was Helen Nelson. And it does feel this season, or increasingly season by season, we are noticing Scottish players head and shoulders above others in this league.
Yeah, you know, look, I've had the pleasure of playing with Helen Nelson. She is a very good operator, you know, good fly half. She kind of jumped around the back line, still does a little bit for Loughborough between that 10 and 15. But she's just a really, really smart rugby player, good kicking game. And I think for this Lightning team, hopefully they'll keep a hold of some of these core players, the likes of her. She is getting a bit older, because actually when they get it right, their ability to really stretch teams, to challenge the Feltzers, comes from her decision making.
Well, you mentioned actually the youngsters here at Loughborough Lightning. They've got a really close relationship with the university. Nathan Smith takes huge pride in that pathway. And when they recruited Leah Brebner Holden, who's wearing 21 for them, not actually out there just yet, young Scottish scrum half who joined from Gloucester Hartbury recently, he said that she fits our recruitment strategy perfectly. She is young and she is high potential. They're building something with a bit of longevity here at Loughborough Lightning, and that's something I know you're very heavily involved in come Sale Sharks. How important is it when recruiting to not just look for the now, but look for 4 or 5 years down the line?
Look, it's huge, and it's really important, I suppose, especially from a Sale Sharks perspective. It's just around the future. You know, you want to fix now, but actually it's about what you can do longer term. I think, like you touched on there, the pathway, the university, all the bits that they have around them supports that strategy, doesn't it? Because you can bring young players into your pathway. You can give them Bucks University experience, or you can give them PWR. And it's just assessing that talent, making sure they get good exposure, they get good playing minutes, and then you see them into fruition when they're playing for PWR, Lightning and PWR.
You've got Loughborough next week. What's going to be your headline bit of intel that you scurry back up to Salford with?
Tackle Alva Kelter.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck to the girls, definitely not me.
Yes, we are, because it's a player safety.
It's been such a fantastic 80 minutes here at Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens. It's such a shame that we've lost 2 young players to injuries, and sincerely hope that we see Nicole Wythe back really soon. And
ready to restart?
Exactly
like
the same.
6, we'll let the player clear the field.
For Isla Curfey.
That's the mark just there.
Who's been playing so well this season.
Okay, if you want to start making your buy intentions.
Leaving now to fervent applause. Giving a thumbs up to her teammates, really good to see. So this, the final act of what has been an utterly compelling 80 minutes. What a round 10 tie, what a blockbuster we have been treated to.
Okay. Just take a step off, just keep the space, okay? Just maintain your space. If you want more space, you step off. Yep, she's by the mark. If you want more space, your choice to step back. have space.
Next for Loughborough, a trip up the road to Sale. Sharks. Harlequins get their Christmas off. Well, there's no such thing as time off really when you're elite level athlete, but they get a bit of downtime before they head to the big house in Twickenham to host Leicester Tigers. And they will do so having leapt to second in the standings, courtesy of this win. I wonder when Harlequins will last second in the PWR table. Swords out to kill Dunn. This time she keeps the ball in hand, bumps off Matai Tonga. Two sinewy figures clattering into one another. Matai Tonga has the last laugh though, and Conkle goes hunting for her hat-trick. Just the meter out. Calendar wants it.
No hands now.
She's well wrapped up. There's a meter in this one. Lochner reaching, stretching. Looked as though the ball might have bounced off the grass for a moment there, but eventually might well have been held up.
Unless you can tell me otherwise, on field on a try.
On-field decision is no try, courtesy of the ferocious, tigerish work of Christine Belisle.
Sorry, Charlie, your on-field decision is a try, yeah?
On-field is a try. I have ball on the ground. I'm just checking there's no knock-on previously.
One final trip to our TMO truck.
Just checking.
For the afternoon.
Ball's out.
I think that's fine from me up here. It's just a second reaction, isn't it? Like there, and then she gets the opportunity just to roll. Yeah.
There she is.
Charlie, there's clear grounding of the ball there.
Clear grounding.
That's the score.
It's whether your whistle was blown before she ground the ball.
No, I was very delayed with that because I blew it after I'd come round. So try stands.
Okay, then you may award a try.
Thank you.
Well, it has been a faltering final 10 minutes here in Northampton. It's taken quite a lot of the momentum out of proceedings after a breathless previous few passages of play. But Donnell Lochner does have her first try of the season for Harlequins, and that's put a bit of extra gloss on the scoreline.
It has, like you say, it has, didn't it? It's been a phenomenal game, and that kind of like that big break there just for the injury kind of just made it a little bit calmer, I suppose, for us up here. But I mean, you look at that scoreline, don't you? 38-22, and wouldn't believe how close Lightning have been at certain moments within this game.
They've denied them the losing bonus point and then some. This to make the gap a full 18 points. And Langi Tuimo, who had fingertips on that player of the match award before Conkle snatched it off her, has added another 2 to her tally. Maybe she'll be allowed something out of the Clinique bag. We will see. But that is 7 straight wins, and the infamous bye-week curse snapped with relish by Jade Conkle and her quartered Crusaders on March Harlequins. They have conquered the Gardens and done the season's double over Loughborough Lightning. They have the talent, the hosts, there is no denying that, but their fans will have to wait another round for the eruption that they have been promised. A bonus point try snatched though, and a much improved performance. What a game, what a tussle in round 10. Full time at Franklin's Gardens, and it is Harlequins 40, Loughborough Lightning 22.